Hello guys, so in this video we will take a quick look on the properties of each item that we have in our catalog. Over the previous video we created a lot of data, a different kind of data, but every kind of data have a different kind of properties. So if we come here and for example right click on any geodatabase and go to the properties, you will see here that you have two tabs. The first one is general. It just shows you where is the location for this geodatabase. And here you have domains. And domains, we have a separate video for domains because it's a very important part that you need to understand. And here we have the feature dataset. If we open the properties, and here you have the general, you have the name of the feature dataset. You have what coordinate system is used, what coordinate system is used for the Z. Here, domain, this is a different than the domain for the geodatabase. The domain for the feature classes or the feature dataset is basically you set up the extent for area where any data outside of this extent is not going to be considered valid. So if you tried to create data or draw data and that out of this extent, it's going to be invalid entry. So here you define the domain and the resolution and tolerance for the feature dataset or your feature classes. When you right click on the feature class and you go to the properties, we have domain resolution here as well, but let's start from the beginning. General, here you have general. Also you have the name, the alias of the feature class. You have editor tracker, and we have a separate video for editor tracker as well, so we are going to discuss it later. Here we have the coordinate system for this feature class, and you cannot change it from here because it automatically inherits the coordinate system of the feature dataset. Here you can change your fields, add more fields or remove fields, and you can change the type. If you want to delete any field, you just choose it from here and you press delete on your keyboard and it will be deleted for you. Here indexes is mainly used to create indexes for your data, and indexes is used to make the performance of the data much faster. So if you have a featured class that have like millions of records, it's better to create indexing for it so it loads faster on the map and there's faster way to select or change the attributes. Here we have subtypes, and subtypes also we have a separate video for it, so we can describe exactly what it does and how can we use it. Feature extent, here it shows you the extent for the features inside this feature class. So as long as you draw more features inside this feature class, the extent for this feature class will change, but you can actually customize it from here, and if you want to return it to default, you just click on recalculate, so it will calculate the extent for the features inside this feature class. Relationships, here it shows you if this feature class have any relationship class with any other features. So for example, here we have a feature class called intersection, which is this one on the left right here. This is a relationship class between intersection and streets, and you can view all the relationship classes created for this layer right here. Representation will help you create like rules for your symbology for this specific feature class. So that's the properties for the feature class. Let's go to a table and we open the properties. And here you have the general, you have editor tracker, fields, indexes, subtypes, and relationships. Same thing with the feature class, but much less options. Here the properties for the toolbox. If you created a custom toolbox, here you can set the name, the label, the location for it, alias or description. And here, if you created a custom toolbox that have a lot of tools and you want to share it with someone and you want to write, let's say, a help document, so when people use it they can open this help document and they can view it, then you set up the help document from here so it will be associated with this toolbox you created. Here in any MXD, when you click on any MXD and you say properties, you can see the properties for this MXD, and also you can open set data source right here, and this window right here will help you redefine the sources for the layers inside this MXD. So again, remember when we had a video about the MXD sharing, and I told you that if someone give you an MXD and you open it, most likely you will see that the layers data source is not right and you cannot see the layers. Before you open the MXD, you can come here and change it. So here it will tell you originally where the data for this layer exists, and here you can define the new location for the data by clicking on this icon right here to open the folder location and define where your data is. So before you open a new MXD that someone shared with you, it's better to open it in our catalog, right click on it, open the properties and make sure that the data source is right for all the layers. Here for the shapefile, we have similar properties like the feature class, but much less options. So you have the same tabs in the feature classes. And all the shapefiles, layer and LSD, have the same properties. If we go down here a little bit more, you will see that we created a network dataset before. So the network dataset have the properties that we initiated when we created the network dataset. So here you can see the general, the sources for the 2 layers used in the network dataset, turns information, connectivity, elevation, attributes, travel modes, directions, optimization, and all these options is the one we set before when we created the network dataset originally. But you can view these properties from here as well. We go down more and we see we have the raster here. We open the properties and you will see that you have only 2 tabs showing the general information about this raster and the key metadata where you can view your spectrum and bands used in this raster layer. On the bottom here we created toolboxes and we created locator before. So the locator, when you open the properties for the locator, you will see all the information that's used to create this locator. So when we created the locator for our Texas addresses layer, we used to enter some information. All this information is going to show up in the properties right here. And if we open ArcGIS servers and right click on any server and we view the properties, you will just see the URL for this server. And if we open a map service properties, you will see the name for the map service, the type for the map service, and the URL for it as well. And that's it for the properties for the items inside ArcCatalog, because some items inside ArcCatalog you cannot add it to the table of content in ArcMap, so you can only open the properties for these items from ArcCatalog. And if you have any questions, please contact me and let me know. Thanks.